Milling Through History presents the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Christmas Special. Now, we here at Milling Through History have always enjoyed our Christmas specials, and for the last few years, we have looked specifically at the iconic Christmas specials that everyone remembers from their childhood. And after all these years, it's kind of a surprise we haven't gotten to this one yet, but it's high time we do. And so today we look specifically at Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, this rather iconic Christmas story is a special that was based on the 1949 song which was sung by Johnny Marks, who in turn based it off of the 1939 poem that was written by Robert May. Now, production for this particular special is rather unique, as it was not produced in the United States, but rather in Canada, which meant there was a far larger pool of talent for the director and casting agents to work with. And the use of Canadian actors also meant the cost for the production would be kept even lower. Now, when Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was being produced, one of the things it did do was introduce many new characters who were inspired by the song. Now, perhaps one of the biggest surprises which would come to fans of this particular special is the knowledge that Rudolph was voiced not by a male, but by a female, specifically Billie Mae Richards, whose name was changed simply to Billy Richards in order to fool audiences. Now, Burl Ives' character of the Snowman was a last-minute addition to the program, as studios wanted a person for whom the audience would know. They were deeply concerned about the idea of a Christmas special with a whole cast of, unknown talents, and maybe people wouldn't want to turn in. But by using a named individual, this would guarantee that audiences would want to check out the special, and perhaps if they like it, stick around for the whole program. Now, unique to the character of the Snowman and Burl Ives is that this particular character was designed specifically to look like Ives, and therefore audiences would immediately feel comfortable with him. Now, what's rather unique to note about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, though, is that when it comes to watching this program, there are multiple versions available out there to find. Now, after the original one had been aired, a number of scenes were cut for the purpose of commercials. See, television didn't have as many commercials in the early days, and so as it kept being rebroadcast, certain scenes would be cut. And even in watching some of the versions, especially if you taped it back in the 80s and early 90s, you start to notice that there are odd scenes where it looks like something else was supposed to happen, but it was cut in order to take that commercial break. Starting in 2019, however, there are two versions of the special which are now shown to viewing audiences. The first is the 2005 re-edit, which has the fame and fortune scene that was added to the special in 1965 and then cut out, only now to be put back in. The freeform edition, which is seen on television, is the special which is closer in resemblance to that which was originally aired in 1964. And so, if you want to watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you're going to have to think about what channel you want to watch it on and try to figure out which version. In fact, in many ways, you probably want to watch both just so you can see the difference and decide which one you prefer to see as a whole. Now, much like Charlie Brown and the Grinch, this special is aired multiple times during the Christmas season. And while many people love the special, there have been those who have been pointing out the negative things that can be found within the program. For instance, bullying, creating outcasts, and the dark side of leadership. And even though modern critics cite some negative aspects, the simple reality is that the vast majority of viewers who watch Rudolph love the special and rank it as one of the top 10 Christmas films that are available to the general public. And so while our world does seem to find itself full of naysayers, the simple reality is that the Christmas season is one which brings people together. We look for the bright side of everything, that which makes humanity good. And so perhaps it's important to remember that at least during Christmas, we can put away all the naysaying aspects and just enjoy the love and camaraderie of the season. And so on behalf of all of us here at Milling Through History, I want to wish you all a happy Christmas, a happy, safe New Year, and we'll see you in 2024.
For more information, please consider these suggested titles. Be sure to click on the left-hand side of the screen to subscribe to our show, and on the right-hand side for our latest episode. And we will see you again for the next episode of Milling Through History.